It's time to pick up the Cohn phone. What's up? Welcome to the Cohn phone. I'm Grant Cohn. I'm in the Niners' little media bunker in Levi's Stadium. The Niners are going to have a little walkthrough in about 2 hours. Then Kyle Shanahan's going to reveal to the local press what he already revealed to the world, which is that Brock Purdy is going to be starting this game against the Arizona Cardinals. It's an interesting decision considering the Niners probably could win this game by 25 points with Adrian Martinez starting this game. I mean, the Cardinals are pretty much dead. They were undefeated when the Niners faced them week 3. They had high hopes, high aspirations. Now they're even more injured than the Niners, and they've lost 5 of their last 6, including a loss to the Tennessee Titans. When you lose to the Tennessee Titans, you know your season is over. I mean, really, the Niners could put Jonathan Gannon out of business. He might get one more year. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys, call the faithful, and ask, how do you feel about the quarterback switch this week? How do you feel about the state of the 49ers? They're 6-4. They've won 3 of their last 7, and Brock Purdy is back to save the day. Now, I know it's Friday. I usually do this. When I do this, it's usually on a Saturday, which is more convenient because people work Monday through Friday. I'm sorry for doing it on Friday. I'm traveling tomorrow. And by the time I actually get into my hotel room, you guys are probably going to be out at a barbecue, at a picnic. It's good for a Saturday morning. So I'm going to be flying Saturday morning. So I'm doing it now. And I would like the brave, the courageous, the outrageous, the opinionated to click the link in the description. It's pinned in the chat box, and give me your take on how you feel about this move. Now, while I wait for someone to jump in, I'll tell you how I feel about this upcoming game. I think the Niners are going to absolutely smoke the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Arizona Cardinals might just roll over if they haven't already. I know it's a home game, but they have every excuse to not show up. The whole team's hurt. I mean, their offensive linemen, their wide receivers, they're hurt. So the Niners are hurt on defense, but on offense, it seems like they're pretty much there. They got Ben Barch back. They got Ricky Pearsall back. They're going to score a lot of points. Kyle Shanahan's going to have his best performance in weeks. I thought his game plan against the Rams the first time was inspired. The second time was negligent. And this week, I think it's going to be his best. I have a prediction. Within the first 15 plays, the script, the Niners offense, it could be the first play. We're going to see Brian Robinson at running back and Christian McCaffrey on the field at receiver in the slot. That's my prediction. It's been long overdue. I'm talking no use check on the field. I think if you look at the trend, Brian Robinson's been getting more and more snaps, more and more carries, more and more opportunities as the weeks go by. And as he gets those opportunities, the reason he's getting more opportunities is because he's playing so well. And I think 10 games in, we can see that Christian isn't really improving as a running back, as a runner. The efficiency isn't improving. And they've been overusing him anyway. Now that Brock's back, if they're going to make a serious run for the playoffs and actually do something there, they need Christian relatively fresh. And he won't be if they keep using him the way they use him the first 10 games. So thank you, Christian, for getting the Niners here, helping Mac Jones. But I think we're going to see a different use of personnel down the stretch of the last 7 games. I think we're going to see a lot less handoffs to Christian, more handoffs to Robinson, and a continued a lot of passes to Christian still. We've been asking Kyle Shanahan to do this for a long time, to get Robinson and Christian on the field together. I think he's going to do it in this game. It's going to annoy me that he didn't do it for Mac Jones, but he's going to do it for Brock. And I think it's going to actually unlock the Niners offense. But the big addition this week is going to be Ricky Pearsall. Without him, the Niners offense is just stodgy, slow, horizontal. and not explosive. He's the only really explosive player on the offense. And I see a lot of people talking about, with Mac Jones out and Brock back, you're going to see more of an explosive element. That's dependent on the wide receivers. It's dependent on Slick Rick, who I'm trying to steal his look, if you haven't noticed, with the beard and the hair. But I have curly hair, so maybe I might even look better, but I'm older, so maybe not, and my back hurts. So that's how I feel about this game. I think the Niners are going to whoop Arizona. It's going to be a blowout. They're going to score like 35. And it's going to be an opportunity for people to like take victory laps. And it's going to be, the whole conversation is going to be about, I told you the Niners were right. I told you Brock Purdy should start. And that's fine. I think it's great for Brock Purdy fans and Brock Purdy to have a big opening night coming back. And I would give him a ton of credit. I won't begrudgingly praise him if he plays really well. I just think it's going to be like either quarterback would have done well in this game. You're supposed to whoop the shit out of the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals. I mean, look at them. They lost to Tennessee recently. They're dead. Yeah, whoop them. And then keep it going, because the Niners are going to have to win 5 of their last 7 games to make the playoffs. So that the task for the franchise quarterback making so much money is to, 1, beat the Cardinals, of course, but then beat Carolina next week, and then beat the Browns, and then beat the Titans, and then find a way to win one of the final 3 games against the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks. That's the assignment. That's what he's getting paid to do. I'm not saying Mac Jones could do it. I don't know. But Brock's supposed to be able to do that. And if he can't, then what are you paying for? That's how I feel. All right, we got Jay Ford first. Jay, you ready? You ready to do this? I think Jay's ready.
I'm ready to do this. What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Well, yeah, I was listening to what you said, and yes, I think, to be fair to everything you were saying as critique to Brock, to win these next 3 games, I think is fair. Like, to then win the Arizona with Jacob Brissett, I don't even know if Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be playing.
No, he won't.
So you should win.
Yep.
You should win against Carolina. I can make an argument, even though the Browns have a tough defense, you should win against the Browns. I think those are the fair first 3 games to evaluate Brock Purdy.
Because you're like playing these bad teams late in the season when they know there's nothing left, and like guys will be making business decisions. They're in Cancun mode. It's a great time to face these teams.
It's an excellent time to face them. I think the real Brock Purdy test will be the Indianapolis Colts. If we really want to be fair to this competition on whatever this is, whatever we calling this, can Brock Purdy go and beat the Indianapolis Colts? And if he can't, maybe we do have to give him another shot. Maybe we do have to honestly reevaluate how we look at the quarterback situation. But if Brock Purdy, I'm willing to give you this, Grant, if Brock Purdy does not win these 3 games, the criticism is coming, and it's all fair. It's all fair.
Yeah.
He's
and
fair
what's
game.
interesting about this to me is like what Brock has to prove isn't that he's better than Mac. That's not it. That's not enough. You have to prove that you're worth this contract. And if he plays really well against Arizona, people will be like, boom, see, this throw, that play, he's better than Mac. Maybe, but that's not really what we're trying to prove here. We're trying to prove that Brock can take this team somewhere Mac can't. And Brock needs to prove that, because we've seen Brock on a team that was loaded. He lost the Super Bowl like Jimmy did. I don't know what Mac could do. Maybe Mac could win the Super Bowl. I have my own visions, but maybe they're just fantasies. I don't know.
No, I think that some of the things you like to bring up with Mac Jones is fair criticism. And it comes with the contract. You're not doing anything that's not fair, because once you sign a franchise contract, you get to have franchise expectations. And if you don't start to meet those franchise expectations, you are as free game to anybody with eyes. That's all that matters. And I just think that it's fair criticism when you sign a franchise deal. So I would like, in the future, hopefully this offseason, and I know you don't really, I don't know how your feelings are really, but it seems like you're not really into criticizing John Lynch, or maybe giving him a lot of credit, a lot of the blame. Not to say you haven't, because you have. I just feel like John Lynch is to me, an anchor to Kyle Shanahan, even when Kyle doesn't see it himself. Because Kyle To me, he wants someone that will just tell him, yes, okay, yes, dude, yes, 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 that sounds great. Yes, yes, Kyle, you're the guy. Yes, yes. Instead of someone who will push back. And I believe Kyle, to his own detriment, did not get a GM that would always push back. And that's what you need for excel growth. If you just have someone to tell you that every day your poop smells great, then, what are you going to really grow? How do you really grow from that? To me, I don't think Kyle was able to grow in the manners of a head coach because he never had a GM that would actually say, yeah, no, we're not doing that, dude. I had this dude I scouted. This is why I scouted him. You just brung a dude that we have marked for the 3rd, 5th, 6th round. We're not drafting that dude. Sorry. My job is the GM. Your job is the head coach. And Kyle got a guy that would say, instead of being the GM, he got a guy that would say, no, yeah, you're always right. I'm always wrong. So
yeah, I'll defer to you. I'll defer to you. I'll defer to you. And so when something goes wrong, John can say, "Hey, man, I just did what you wanted." And Kyle's like, "Hey, man, I was doing your job. Like, when are you going to do your job?"
And see this little tag team that we have? You see that it causes
you can always push it back on the other guy. It's your fault. It's your fault. But so here's the thing. So what Jed needs to do, we all know what needs to happen. John needs to go. And you need to hire a general manager who is now Kyle's boss. But the problem with that, and why I've always, for a long time felt that Kyle needs to go too, is that I don't think Kyle will buy into that. And if the coach doesn't buy into the general manager, then you're just asking for organizational, dysfunction. And what's too bad about, maybe I'm wrong, Kyle, prove me wrong, because Sean McVay reports to Les Snead. Andy freaking Reid reports to Brett Veach. The only coach who had complete dictatorship power over their organization was Belichick, and it blew up in his face after Tom Brady.
Exactly. How did that work?
Well, it's not the model anymore. The good teams are the teams that draft really well, because all the good teams are spending way too much on quarterbacks now. It seems like something you almost have to do, almost. So the only way to make it work is to draft really, really well, which Niners don't do. They haven't in half a decade. They just don't.
And that becomes a problem because now you don't have any depth. Sound familiar? You're
why are the Seahawks better than the Niners? Well, look at the Seahawks drafts the last 3-4 years. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. They've done a really good job. And it doesn't hurt that they signed Sam Darnold to below market rate. That's kind of nice too.
And I think, as you know, I hate to say this, when you're picking a quarterback, the number one conversation that should be, is he good for the system, yada yada. It should be, is this a franchise-altering quarterback?
Right.
If you can't submit your opinion to say that this is a franchise-altering quarterback, then you can't draft these guys at number one or in the first round. You're better off waiting
for 5 years. You can't extend it for 5 years when guys like Baker and Darnold are on 3-year contracts for a lot more, for half the price. And I like Mac, but I'm not necessarily sold that he's a franchise-altering player. He's just another guy who can run Kyle Shanahan's system very well. So
he might have to be a stopgap.
Yeah.
If that's what it comes to. It's cheaper. You can evaluate the draft. You can get someone in that you actually believe in. You can not rush him to get out there. And once you said, like you said, the second year of their rookie contract is really where you want to get them guys out there to try to take advantage of the value you get within the contract. So the first year, let Mac be a stopgap. That's fine. That's cool.
I just feel like with this team, this system, this coach, unless you truly have Josh Allen, you really feel like you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, why not get a new quarterback every 2-3 years? I know it feels like no teams do that and it's not smart, and look at what the Vikings did. But the Vikings' problem was they pivoted to a quarterback who had never played football in the NFL before and were crossing their fingers hoping it would work out. If they had Daniel Jones, it would have been a super smart decision.
They still don't know what they have in Kevin McCarthy right now. They don't know what they have in McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, they're still processing and evaluating. So I agree.
There's always going to be 2 or 3 former first-round picks who got passed up or labeled bust at 25, 26, who could sign with the Niners for $4 million, who probably look good in the system. I don't think Mac Jones is the only one. Darnold would have been able to do it. Mac Jones is able to do it. There's more. Just don't draft a project who's 21.
Exactly. And I think that's the 49ers problem, is they don't evaluate correctly. And it's starting to show, and then we're starting to see within the depth of the team, when such and such gets hurt, we have no depth. Oh, we have no depth when in defense. Oh, the linebackers are now gone. We had no depth. We missed three first rounds with the Trey Lance debacle, and we never recovered. Point blank period. We never recovered. We just never recovered. And now the kitchen drawer is looking bare. And now this franchise is one half a second from a reset. They're half a second. Like I said, we'll see what goes on with Brock. But if the return of Brock isn't good, in this season, we look at the end of this season, we're saying, man, those games Brock came back. Ugh, God.
I mean, it just seems like the Niners are so dependent right now on old players staying healthy. Like when Kittle and Christian and Trent are all out there, they can win. But as we saw, like once these guys start going down, there's the Niners aren't a good team. I mean, they lost to the Texans.
Well, they're old, Grant. They're old. Grant,
they're old.
Yeah. They're old.
So what you're going to get from them week to week is like super volatile.
At this point, you don't know what you're going to get week to week from George Kittle, which is probably one of the better of the players. And that's just
how many good games has George Kittle had this year? One. Last week. One.
Yeah.
And Christian McCaffrey's playing his ass off, but like it's not the same.
Trent Williams gets beat more often than we ever seen more lately.
And they're playing for 2026. What's Christian going to look like in 2026? What's Trent going to look like in 2026? When is Nick Bosa coming back really? What's Fred going to look like when he's 30 coming off this injury? I mean, I'm not to be a downer, but
no, but it's true.
The Niners are always like, next year we're going to have better injury luck. No, you won't.
You can't bet on that. You can never bet on injuries because you just don't know.
What you can bet on is them having bad injury luck, if you even want to call it luck.
That's why, to me, it's important to understand the draft and be as instrumental as getting good picks as you are in getting or trying to get a running back in the third. I don't know what.
This is what kills me about John Lynch in particular. It's like, dude, do you think your job is safe? You did nothing at the trade deadline. If you don't make the playoffs, man, I think you're going to be the scapegoat. Like you thought Keon White was enough? All right.
I would love to be a fly on the wall, Grant. Did John go to Jed and say, hey, we need X, Y, and Z? And Jed said, you should have been a better drafter. No.
Possible.
Or did John Lynch never even
before the season? We talked about this before the season. I let you know where you stood. I'm not going to bail you out at the deadline with the big, trading away future draft capital that your replacement is gonna use next year on a like that's possible. Yes.
Yeah. So yes. I don't know if what was said in the room and how John was told he was going to handle this free agent period. Because he was
what I don't like about this whole situation, I get it. Like, Jed, hold Kyle and John's feet to the fire. Don't bail him out. But it's like, and it wasn't the plan to go all in this year. The plan was to take the dead cap and have a transition year. But you can't always plan everything in life. And certain things happen that you weren't counting on. One being Mac Jones. You didn't expect he would be this good. You didn't expect he would carry your team. Like, who knows? Maybe you actually win a Super Bowl with Mac Jones as opposed to lose a Super Bowl with Mac Jones. You didn't count on Eddie Pinheiro being the best kicker in football. I feel like, and hey, maybe Robert Saleh is going to be here for 3 years. Maybe not. There's certain things kind of like the stars aligned for you in certain ways. And the Niners were like, don't care. It's not our year. It's like, all right, man, fine.
Yeah, it makes me think who saw this roster in the beginning of the season and said, nah. So, because doesn't that seem like it happened? Someone looked at this roster and said,
I mean, if you just think about it like, okay, we're going to lead the league in dead cap, more than $100 million in dead cap. We're not going to sign many players. We'll extend our own. We'll bring in young guys and hope a bunch of young guys contribute. I could see why you'd think that team wouldn't be good. But then you look up, you're 6-3. Mac Jones is playing like a top 10 quarterback. Kicker can't miss. Robert Saleh's really good. It's like, well, NFL's unpredictable. Tatum Bethune is like leading the league in tackles since he became starter. Maybe we have something here. And like, look, you lose Mykel Williams, good player, hurts your run defense. But, like, you can replace Mykel Williams. It's not that hard. Yeah. Like, you traded for Keon White. You give up nothing. He's instantly a better pass rusher than Mykel Williams. You could go out and get another run defender who's better than Cleveland Farrell on a practice squad. I mean, they could have done a little something more just to show the team we believe in you. And it seems like basically all they have left to prove this season is that Brock's better than Mac. That's all they have left to prove, and maybe make the playoffs. And if they do, they'll act like, wow, what an accomplishment considering all our injuries. Like, nah, you were 6-3. You could have done more.
I would love to know the people in the building right now that are choosing the sides, because to me, this is all the season's about is Mac versus Brock. Because what else? We're not playing for a Super Bowl.
You know what this is though? This kind of Mac isn't in the clique. You know what I mean? He's not in the Cabo clique. They
The combo
like him.
click, exactly.
They like him and stuff. It's like, oh, is it Mac funny? Like, he's hilarious. Hey, Mac, tell us a joke. Make me laugh. Do a little dance. It's kind of condescending, right? And now we're done with you. Thank you for that entertainment. But Brock is one of us. And I think this is sort of the Niners are a very cliquey team. And if you're in, they will prop you up and protect you forever. Well, unless you're Jimmy Garoppolo. And I feel like that's what happened to Brock right into Mac right now. Like, Mac, you thought you were in, but you're not. This is a cliquey team, and you're not in the clique. Sorry.
Yeah, I would hope that, and I don't know if Kyle's going to do it. I don't think Kyle's going to do it. I would hope in this offseason that the cliques get wiped out, that we start going back to what you would say a traditional team, when everyone works together and we're not clicking up because we all have the same goal in
But
mind.
I feel like Kyle's kind of a cliquey person. Like, he kind of likes.
Is that what you get when you go when you talk
he likes
to him?
being friends with Debo. Like, he likes being friends with certain athletes. And he kind of cozies up to the good ones. Whereas maybe I'm projecting here, but with Robert Saleh, he seems much more like egalitarian. Everyone on his defense has a role. He'll blitz Upton Stout. Like, yeah, Jason Pinnock's important in certain situations. Whereas with the Niners, it's very much like Juszczyk's one of us. He's on the field. Christian's one of us. He doesn't like. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, Mr. Robinson. I don't care that you're averaging 2 yards more per carry than Christian. He's just one of us. It's that kind of team, and I don't like it. It's football is not supposed to be that kind of culture, right? It's the ultimate.
No,
it's the ultimate meritocracy. It's the ultimate team sport. And Christian, man, like you had a great career. Great, man. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame, but right now we got to make a team decision, and that's playing Brian. But we don't do that on the Niners. Maybe on defense.
I think that's the problem. And I wish when we go back to the GM, an experienced GM, someone who would push back at the genius head coach and tell him about himself. No, we're not. That's not smart. No, Kyle, that's not smart. I think Kyle's heard too much. I'm a genius and not enough. You're not a genius. No. How about another? Just the word no. The word no, right?
Yeah.
No.
How about that? I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. I got about 6 more people waiting. You did a great job, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
20 minutes. Appreciate you, man. All right. Before I take some more, let me just tell you a little something. Check this out. A friend just introduced me to something I've honestly never seen before. It's called sports poker. The football version is available now. Football poker. So here's how it works. Every football drive becomes a hand of poker. You're dealt 5 cards at the start of the drive. The cards correspond to touchdowns, field goals, turnovers, punts, and even 4th down conversions and sacks. You can draw up to 3 cards at any time, like trade in a punt card when the team crosses midfield, and you can bet whenever you want, like when there's a big play that helps your hand. And just like in poker, you can call, raise, or fold a bet depending on how that drive is going, and bluffing is huge and so much fun. The value of your hand changes with the action on the field. When the drive ends, the best hand wins the pot, and you get ready for the next drive. I played a few hands of this, and it's honestly a blast. You start thinking about football totally differently. Suddenly, a 3rd and 2 feels like holding a pair of jacks. You're on edge trying to read the drive. It's super easy to learn, especially if you already know poker, and it's strategic just like poker. They just launched on Kickstarter, so if you're into football, poker, or just want something new for Sundays, go check it out. You can back the campaign, grab the early bird edition to get deals on decks and other good stuff. And they have decks for baseball and soccer too, with plans for more sports soon. If they hit their numbers on Kickstarter, you can expect a mobile version out soon. The game's called Sports Poker. It's a blast, and the link's in the description. All right, who is next on the show? How about Deshaun? What's up, Deshaun?
I just came on, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I got like so many different topics to talk about, but I was like, where do I start? So like, is it weird to me that all of a sudden Greg Cosell comes out and he's like, it's like he's on the payroll, man. This whole little promotion of we don't throw the ball down the field. Like, do you know how slow our receivers are? I think it's just very timely that you all of a sudden come out with that right before Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall all of a sudden comes back too. I don't know, man. It just It's just kind of
Doesn't it
funny,
feel
man.
like the organization is kind of whispering to their people like, look, I know it kind of seems weird that we're benching Mac off a 33 for 39 performance, but if you look at this one play on film, Demarcus Robinson was open and and Mac didn't throw him the ball. So yeah, Mac had a 115 rating,
Exactly.
but there's like these tiny little plays and like that tell the people that that's the element that Brock Purdy's gonna. It almost felt like that because there's this whole coordinated campaign, not just from Greg, but from hella people being like, well, Mac doesn't throw down the
Bro,
field.
it's been all
Hold
week.
on. Who the fuck was he? Every time he threw the ball to Demarcus Robinson down the field, he dropped it. So he's supposed to throw to Mark. I mean, like, I would stop. I think
Yeah,
not throwing
yeah.
to Demarcus Robinson is probably a smart decision. I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's the thing too, because it kind of walks me right into the next topic I have, just about like when they was force feeding the ball to Juwan Jennings. It gives you that whole Debo feel before they
Yep.
let him go type thing, right?
Yep. And I bet you
I'm
they
like,
stopped doing that now that Brock's
wait,
back.
what happened to
I bet you
Kendrick
they
Bourne?
stopped doing that. I bet you they stopped force feeding Juwan Jennings now that Brock's back. Because to me, it felt like, okay, Max the quarterback. None of this really matters. I mean, we don't have any real pressure to do anything. Let's just force feed the ball to Christian, get him his stats. Let's force feed the ball to Juwan, make him happy. But now that Brock's back, I bet you're going to see Kyle at his absolute freaking best. I bet you. Oh, I bet you. Then that's what annoys me about Kyle,
Look,
man. He has this other gear that he can go to.
Oh yeah, just like you said the other day, I think it was yesterday. He's gonna ball out and try to do. He's gonna pull
He's going
out
to call so many deep
everything
shots for
from his
Ricky
game.
Pearsall in this game. He's going to make sure that Brock hits a deep throw to Ricky. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it.
Look, so you talk
Because
about
because this
narrative.
game is
When you
about
talk
the
about
narrative,
narrative,
right?
so I
It's not
seen
about beating the Cardinals.
my
They're going to
bad.
beat the Cardinals. This game isn't about beating the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Cardinals. This game
Yeah.
is about resetting the narrative and proving people like us wrong.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not to say I'm the biggest fan of Colin Coward, but when you talk about narratives, I don't know if you've seen his last piece on Mac Jones, and he put him up against these other guys, and I was just like, yeah, man, you can have Greg Cosell all you want to, but I mean, a lot of things are getting really obvious
And then he
here.
put him
It's
up
things
against
you really
Brock.
ain't gonna be able to control when you talk about a narrative.
And you put him up against Brock, right? Like he's like, oh, here's how his numbers compare to Justin Herbert. Here's how they compare to Dak Prescott. Okay, and now here's how they compare to Brock
That was
Purdy's
funny,
over the
man.
last 8 games.
I
It's
did.
like, uh-oh. Deshaun got a phone call. I already know.
Yo.
Yeah, you got a phone call, huh?
Oh, is that me?
That's probably what happened.
No, nah. I don't know what happened, dude. Hey, the
All right,
last
well,
thing I
I
wanted to
lost you.
say. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I heard what's his name, Middlecoff, talking about how the Raiders are kind of like going downhill, man, and it's probably time to trade Max Crosby. Look, dude, that'd be the only thing I can see. If we get him back, it'll I would have a little more faith in where this team is going because I'm so tired of us drafting. We can't draft, and that narrative is out there too. I mean, you got little Twitter accounts and bigger Twitter accounts recognizing our draft history. And I'm like, dude, we need to just start grabbing talent that's actually for sure. That's the last thing I just want to talk about because I'm starting to. We can't draft, bro. It's very obvious.
I
So
mean,
I'm not trying to
trading
put
for Trent
John Lynch
Williams
on
and trading
that.
for Christian McCaffrey are two of the better moves the Niners have made in the last 5 years. And that's kind of what you're saying. Deshaun, got to take more callers. Good stuff. Thanks for calling in.
Yep.
Yup. All right, John, then Kenny, then Ralph. Ralph Wiggum, straight from The Simpsons. John, what's up, John?
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man? Where you calling
Doing
from?
good. San Diego, man, right on the water.
San Diego. Love it.
The place to be.
Hell yeah.
Great. Yeah, what I was going to say is number one, man, I think the most important traits of a quarterback are accuracy and toughness and coolness. And Mac Jones has that in spades, man.
Yep.
And I know Brock is more mobile, but the problem with Brock, two things. One, I don't think his body can hold up. I don't think he has the physicality to do that over the long haul. It's been kind of proven already in his history. And number two is Mahomes does the same thing, but he's got the arm to get the ball where he wants to get it when he does that magic scrambling.
And he's got the frame to stay on the field.
Yeah, man. I don't think that Brock all the time, his arm can do what he wants to do. And I think that's why a lot of times he throws picks. And I don't think that's going to go away. I think it's going to continue. I think it could get worse. And personally, I think they would be smart to just try to get through the rest of this season and just do everything they can to not get Brock hurt run the ball like crazy, feed Robinson, whatever they got to do. Get to the playoffs. Hope that Brock doesn't have a Brian Hoyer style 5 interception meltdown game. Just make him look good, and then sneakily go to Mac, offer him the Sam Darnold contract, and get that contract off the books and trade Brock for whatever the hell you can get. 3rd-round pick, great, and then move on. And then I do think I agree with the last caller. They need to get rid of some of their top picks and just get a guy like Crosby, a proven guy in. And because, yeah, the drafting has been absolutely horrendous.
Is it possible that Jed York said, I'm not trading, John, I'm not letting you trade picks next year because you might not be the one making the picks next year. So
Sure.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Or John York could have said, we're not spending any more friggin' money.
How about that?
It could be a combination of both.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like with the whole, I don't think it's conspiratorial to say with the soccer team and everything else they're investing in, you have to kind of always follow the money with everything. And I think there is some truth to that. They might just be kind of like willing to, just make the playoffs right now and sell tickets and be cool with that. And
it seems like when the Yorks laid out their budget for 2025, they wanted to spend a lot on soccer.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. This is the year they wanted us because they had to Leeds got promoted and they want to keep Leeds there, although they won't. And so to do that, they're like, we're just going to dial back spending just a little bit on football. Yeah. And everyone knows it. And it's like, yeah, but we're 6-3. They're like, sorry.
Totally.
Better luck next year. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in kind of their commitment to, I think they've had commitment to trying to do it, but for whatever reason, I just feel like where the tea leaves are going, I think they're just, like you said, they're kind of balancing things out financially between both investments. And I think they're probably just hoping that the schedule and some things will fall their way to where they can get a deep run in the playoffs. But ultimately,
I just feel like the Rams are like the better version of the Niners. Like they got the better stadium in LA. They own the better soccer team. They own Arsenal. I mean, I don't really know that much about soccer, but Arsenal's like good and is going to be in the Premier League indefinitely, whereas Leeds is like, I mean, the Niners are more important than Leeds. Arsenal's a bigger deal than the Rams.
Yeah.
And the Rams own them. That's a big deal.
That's interesting. Yeah. Like the whole soccer dynamic is a totally different ball of wax. It's just at the end of the day, when it comes back to the quarterback situation, like, you think about it, when they lost the Super Bowl, they could have, Tom wanted to come, right? Brady wanted to come.
Yeah.
They turned him down. They could have traded Jimmy for a high pick then after the Super Bowl and gotten him probably for a good contract. Didn't do it. Same thing after the last Super Bowl loss. I think they should have pivoted to Darnold, done a similar contract Seattle did. And they probably should have given Darnold more of a chance that season. He might have won that Super Bowl.
It's the same thing. And then in 2021, don't forget 2021, when they finally decided they didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo anymore, they waited around and missed out on Matthew Stafford.
That's
and
true.
got Trey Lance instead.
And then on top of that,
they could have traded those picks for Stafford. They traded him for Lance.
Exactly. And on top of that, if Mac goes somewhere else, if ultimately they just continue to stick with the click thing and just we're going to stay with Brock and just kind of whatever it is.
Because they've convinced themselves that they created Mac. They resuscitated Mac. And that Mac, if he goes somewhere else, it'll look like Jimmy going somewhere else. Not if he goes to Minnesota or Miami or Cincinnati or...
I think Darnold and Mac will start kicking their ass for years. I personally think that Mac is, again, his accuracy. His last year at Alabama, I mean, those numbers, you can't deny those kinds of numbers. Like he just did it last week again. The guy,
and I love people to be like, well, he doesn't have that mobile element. Like, okay, so does that mean that Brock Purdy is better than Peyton Manning and Tom Brady? I mean, they couldn't. They weren't mobile. They stood in one spot. Does that mean Brock's better than them? I mean, mobility is good, but it doesn't necessarily make you better than every other quarterback who isn't mobile. And the thing about Brock, like you said, is he's getting hurt. He's not on the field. He seems fragile. That's why I feel like they can't, even if they wanted to keep Brock and trade back, they can't. You can't trade Mac. You need a real starting quarterback behind Brock Purdy because he's not going to make it through the full season. He won't.
Yeah, exactly. Or they need to draft a guy higher for once that can be
Curtis Rourke. He'll be the guy.
Whatever they do. But the bottom line is I don't think Joe Montana, especially later in his career, his first couple of years he was a bit, but he wasn't very mobile either, if you go back and watch him. And he had the same traits, man. Toughness, he was cool, and he was accurate. And I think that, you could totally win Super Bowls with Mac Jones. I'm not saying that Brock couldn't possibly do it, but your best ability is availability. If the guy's always hurt, it doesn't really matter. And if his arm can't get the ball where he wants it to go when he scrambles and he keeps throwing picks, it's going to be, death by 1,000 paper cuts, man. You're just not going to be able to do it.
Well, Brock hasn't played 2 games in a row all season. Let's see if he can make it through the rest of the season. He's got a lot to prove. John, great call. Thank you.
See ya.
Peace. Ralph and then Ramilius Sports Report making guys. Yeah, Ramilius in the house. He's got something to say. He's got a good background too. I got to upgrade my stuff. What's up, Ralph?
Can you hear me, Grant?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. First of all, I just wanted to say I've been watching you for a long time, and I'm like huge fan of you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I think in today's day and age, nobody really everybody's so buddy with the athlete these days, and you're just like you're actually journaling.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I appreciate it.
One thing I wanted to say is that I just hope we clean house at the end of the season, because I am so tired of this regime. I'm so tired of the trying to find a gem or trying to find an obscure draft pick that, like a system guy that we can create and exploit with. They like to have that ego where they have like their offenses work their way with their timing and nobody else can do it. And I just think it's just, that's just one small problem, but it goes to like from the drafting side to the practical side where you're talking about not warming up, right? That you see them doing I've been following like that they just do dynamic stretching. That's just yanking on your
muscles.
muscles.
Something they called activation, but I don't know.
Well, like you said, they could tell you all the studies they want, but you're just yanking the muscle to start the day and nothing else. Yep. And then you're just going out.
I mean, I'd love to get a study on like which team had the most injuries in practice this year. There's a certain amount of injuries in games in football that are unavoidable because it's a violent sport, but you control the environment in practice. You dictate how hard players go. If you consistently are getting guys like injured in practice, that's something you could prevent. And the Niners have had some serious ones. I mean, Yeturgos Matos came back too soon, injured himself in practice. Who was it last week? Anyway, Alfred Collins, hip. He's back now. Anyway, the practice injuries kill me.
Yeah, it's like, that's not normal. It looks like an episode of MASH on our sideline year in and year out.
Good. Yeah.
And there's just a couple more things with like I feel like the main talking heads on our coaching staff, they do more of an emergency cover-up job. Like it just always feels like they're trying to cover for something or trying to portray something that's not the case within the locker room. And they spend so much energy on that as opposed to getting their guys ready. Like, do you notice how much they try to play with the narrative of what's going on with the 49ers? And, guys like Bill Walsh could care less about stuff like that. Like the players were like they were coached to say so little.
It's very important for the Niners to be seen the way they want to be seen.
Exactly.
Which is funny. It seems like they get really lost in the weeds with that stuff as opposed to just winning. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm relatively young, and so I coached varsity football this past season, right? And I noticed that because I'm coaching at a school that's from another city, not the one I played at. And I went to the school I went to had a really good regime where they're like very focused on doing all the right things as far as like working out to how you spend your time. And I go to this school to coach, and I see how it's like such a disaster. And our head coach and I know it's like you can't compare apples and oranges, like a little rinky-dink high school, but I just noticed that it's a common thing with like anything that's run bad as far as sports. They always care about like the administrative side too much. Our coaches.
It seems to be with the Niners. Like you could say they have a good coach, but what the details he is all over are the X's and O's, and it's not surprising that they always have injury issues because those are like details that he's just not on top of. How to prevent this? I bet he doesn't even think about it. I bet he says, "It's football. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is draw better plays and draft more players."
Yeah, and how to cocoon myself from the media or from outward criticism.
or how to like how to get enough media people on my side parroting my point of view and telling people how freaking smart I am. I mean, how many people, local and national, will tell you how smart Kyle Shanahan the best coach in the league? I think
I
actually
know
Kyle's better than Sean McVay. Like,
it's like the juice check Harvard thing. It's like something that
yeah,
they got to show up your ass every time you're
like
watching something
if
on
you
them.
like know a little bit about the Niners and you want to sound really plugged in and informed, just talk about how Kyle Shanahan secretly, if you really know ball, he's the best coach in football.
No,
Okay.
he outsmarts himself like every big game we have where, okay, it'll be like we have to get the ball and punch it hard downfield, and it's like a very tight situation. And he's going to create a play where there's motions and creating separation between the ball from the backfield to the line of scrimmage, and that you can't do that in that situation. He doesn't want to admit he built his whole team wrong, so he's doubling down
His
on this.
offense is so slow. And when he
Yes.
gets an early lead in the game and his defense is good, then he can do that all game and chill and walk to the line of scrimmage and have the shifts and the motions, and it looks great. And the defense is on their heels. But when he's down and his defense sucks and he's trying to get back in the game and he's still calling that slow ass shit with no up tempo, nothing, and all these shifts and motions, it's like, dude, you're running the clock down on yourself. That's to me, again, more stubborn, arrogant, inflexible stuff that like you could be the smartest, best coach in the world, but if you're stubborn and arrogant, you're always going to get in your own way, always. And I feel like he's old enough to have learned that life lesson by now. Sorry,
well, he's naturally a small picture guy. He's not a guy that can run the organization. He needs to be in an office somewhere with a dim light and a chalkboard and all this old film.
That's where the magic happens for him, on the chalkboard. Yep. All right, Ralph, I got to take some more calls, man. You killed it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Grant. Thank you.
Hell yeah. I like the background too. I didn't exactly know where he was sitting, but it was picturesque and I liked it. It kind of put a whole vibe to what he was saying. And he was like kind of soft spoken, but also had a lot to say. You know what I mean? It was like powerful. Ralph killed it. Okay, here we go. Ramelia Sports Report. It's time to let the Rams guy talk some crap. Then we got JC after that. What's up?
What is up, Grant? Let me fix my.
What's up? There you go.
Appreciate
there you
like
go.
Let's
I like it. Is that NFL Blitz? Oh man, I used to play that game all the time.
R2D2. I got Back to the Future. Aaron Donald's
NFL Blitz.
Here. Speaking of Aaron Donald, I don't know if you saw the tweet that when the Rams took the belt to the ass of the Niners at Levi, that's what he said. It was a belt to the ass win, and all the Niner fans got all mad. But you know, basically we made up for a wrong. I mean, yes, the Niners have backups playing, and basically the quarterback that played against the Rams was better than Brock Purdy. We all saw it. The guy's been horrible for the last 5 games. I mean, his toe, we'll see if it's better. He's done some great things in 2023 as CMC, but they're not the same players clearly anymore. And then here's the Niners again paying a quarterback. And then saying, "Oh, here's another one out of my ass that's just as good." I mean,
every time they pay a quarterback, it blows up in their faces, but someone else emerges behind them. It's the weird. It's like they're like they're the luckiest unlucky team. It's incredible how they always get bailed out.
To put things in perspective, imagine the Rams get a backup quarterback off the street because Matt Stafford's back was messed up. Remember, they put him in the immortal chamber, you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It did miracles.
And they fall in love with Stetson Bennett because he's good for 2 months.
Everybody, I don't think his back was messed up because come on, look at how he's moving around. He's doing the shimmy and stuff as he's lighting up the Niners defense. And you wanna put a fear in Salah's eyes. Just say personnel 13.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
You want to quake him in his boots, and
that wasn't good.
You know, that was a little that was for Liam Cohen. You know, Salah had that big mouth talking about, oh, they steal our signals. Oh, but it's a compliment. Good. So McVay shut him up, and
McVay shut him up too, huh? Because that Cohn's his guy.
Because you know, the first game we were sleepwalking. We were 5.5, 8.5 point over, you know, favorites. We thought they were going to roll over, but Mac Jones wouldn't let them roll over. If it was Brock Purdy, he probably would have won by 40 points if he played, not being able to be mobile. So we basically, in this game, they got a garbage. This is how important it was to keep the game as close as could be with Kyle Shanahan, is he left CMC out there, Mac Jones out there, the guys that are basically he needs because Brock Purdy was still on the shelf, and Ricky Pearsall, the NASCAR driver, on the sidelines. They stayed in for that garbage time touchdown. I mean, so basically in this last game, we covered both games, the 8.5 and the 5.5, even with that garbage time touchdowns, and we could have put 50 on them. I really wish that McVay would have just put that 50 in there, even though that's his buddy. He's not going to do it, but a 50 spot would have been lovely. But here we are with the Seahawks, and I wish that this Niner team, they had Fred Warner, but I wish they would have played the Seahawks now. They got him when they were horrible. Tonga stepped in front of the guy getting ready to intercept Brock Purdy's
I think they're going to beat you guys.
That was a lucky. They were so fortunate. They were doing with smoke and mirrors. They beat us.
I think the Seahawks are going to beat you guys this week. Ramilia.
They clocked Kyron Williams in the jaw, made him fumble on the goal line. And what is that, Grant? Is that a legal play? You could.
I said I think the Seahawks are going to beat you. I said I think the Seahawks are going to beat you this week. You didn't hear me?
Well, I said that we're going to split them. We're going to split with them.
Okay.
But I don't know what game it's going to be. We're coming off of playing really great. Stafford's got like 20 touchdowns with 0 interceptions.
He's good.
Yeah, and so we'll see. I think we're going to split with them. We'll see what happens with that. But like I was going to say, imagine we get a guy off the street like a Mac Jones, and he plays better than Stafford. I mean, come on, that doesn't happen. But it's like if Stafford gone down and Stetson Bennett stepped in and had a good 2 months and put up numbers, and the Rams were like, "Oh, is he a franchise quarterback?" Like, only that's the Niners. Why it's so crazy about Brock's only back. So what does that mean? They brought him against the horrible Arizona Cardinals, and unfortunately they have injuries. But the one great thing is you got to meet my guy in person, Jake Elbogen. Great content creator. I want to give him a shout out. And what's cool about Ram fans that were there, and there was some Ram fans there, they got to see where they want to sit down in February for the Super Bowl. So that's the main thing. That's the main thing for Niner fans is we're gearing up to try to win the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium. Imagine Jim, and then Stafford hands the Lombardi over to Jimmy G. Jimmy, who do you want to give a shout out to? Imagine that.
That's why, like, of all the years for the Niners to pick to like not go for it and to like take lumps or whatever they want to call it, why this year when you're hosting the Super Bowl? You wanted so bad to host a Super Bowl. You're probably never going to host it again because, frankly, it's the worst stadium on the West Coast, and it's not in San Francisco. And you just open the door for the Rams or the Seahawks to dance on your field? Like, that's embarrassing. Well, I don't know.
That's this lemonade stand, Grant. Remember they're talking about lemonade stands. That's why I used to call them the Can't Get Right crew. They're always doing something. And they always ask me, why do you talk about the Niners so much? Because it gave me so much material. I could do George Lopez type material on just the Niners
all day. Yeah. The Rams are over there doing stuff right. It's kind of boring.
Yeah,
good stuff, man. Thanks for calling in.
Love you, brother.
Yeah. All right. Love you too, man. JC and then Kenny. I seen you like struggling to get on and find some good service. I got you, man. JC and then you. You can probably be the last one, Kenny. All right, JC, what's up?
Hey, not much. How you doing, Grant?
Pretty good.
I gotta agree with you about, the injury thing here and stuff. I think Kyle just I think it goes back all to the offensive line, I mean, like Jake Brendel, the same thing. Jason Kelsey, they're the same. It ain't the same, I mean, it's just the whole offensive line leads to the hospital ball that the Niners play, on the offensive side. The defensive side, it's just been, well, how do you hurt Fred Warner? The guy's just a machine, he could play on a broken ankle, but I mean, he got hurt,
It's just so shameful that he got hurt in a play with 10 men on the field. Like, guys, get your stuff together, man. Like, these things matter. There's big consequences in football games.
Yeah. And well, Kyle to me is just a guy who's brilliant at picking people that he can take credit for what they do. He got
like Max good, but not too good. Yeah, just good enough for Kyle to get praised. Yeah.
Yeah, he got Saleh. So, when Saleh's keeping everybody below 15 points, Shanahan's a genius.
Yep.
He's like 21st in points scored on offense. I don't get it, because the defense is really good. Kyle gets credit for the offense.
To me, like the discourse around Kyle this year has been incredible. Everyone was talking about him in the coach of the year conversation. His offense sucks. His running game sucks.
Yeah.
And the only thing keeping him afloat was the kicker, the backup quarterback, and the defensive coordinator. Now, Kyle Shanahan gets credit for like bringing them into the organization as like an executive, but as a head coach, nah. As an offensive coordinator, nah.
Exactly.
Nah. Yeah.
And
sorry.
you know, and I watched Mac Jones, you know, and stuff, and the 2-minute drill. You know, I mean, they came back 2 minutes. Kyle does not coach that.
I've never seen
Mac
Brock lead that.
Rottweiler.
That's Mac. He's good at it. It's a lot of fun to watch.
And I look at the quarterback thing, you know, Kirk Cousins. How come he never plays for him? You know, Kyle, I'm sure, calling him. Kurt's like, yeah, I love you, man, but no.
Who do you think's going to be Brock's backup next year? When they trade Mac Jones, which they're probably going to do, and they need another quarterback to back up Brock because he can't stay healthy, here comes Kirk Cousins after. You really think Kyle's not going to coach Kirk one more time for old time's sake? I bet he will. I bet he will.
Well, that may be, but Kurt's now at the end of his career. You know, he wasn't starting, and I think Kurt turned him down. You know, so you know, you got 2 years with a till you coach the good out of a quarterback, and every time Kyle can coach the good in 2 years.
The trajectory is like first year good, second year better, third year, fourth year, fifth year, you're out of the league.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's because of the. I have never been a Kyle Shanahan fan, but it's being demonstrated so openly this year.
Yeah, and the fact that the Niners have given him a decade on the job just lets him show us who he is repeatedly over and over and over again. JC, good stuff. Thank you very much.
Man, have a good day. Thanks.
I'm going to take some prize picks. I got Kane. Kane, I lost Kenny, but I want to tell you guys something. I found this out yesterday, and I'm going to confirm it, but this is like a secret. I waited till the end of the show, but I want to tell all 1,100 you guys. Okay, so I heard this yesterday. Apparently, so you know how like football teams have like rookie hazing kind of stuff. Like a lot of times they have to do a talent show. Okay. So I heard that the Niners rookies had to do a talent show this year and that 2 rookies reenacted my little thing with Javon Kinlaw. And that someone did Kinlaw and someone did me. I don't know who it was. I can't tell you how I found out, but I'm going to be asking around the locker room trying to figure out a little bit more about this story because that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. And shout out to the rookies that did that. I mean, like, how do they even know? That was almost 4 years ago. I have a feeling that little video lives on in infamy, and everyone's seen it. But I just want to know, like, who played me, and did they like give me like I was tough in that interact. I didn't back down. So was Kinlaw. Kinlaw had some great lines. I thought I had some good lines too. Anyway, I wish I could have seen that performance. Damn, that's hilarious. Anyway, I'm not the one. Javon, do you think you're representing the Niners organization well right now? That was a good line. I said that. Do you think? Because he wasn't. That was the thing. But he was representing himself well. Anyway, shout out to Javon. Kane.
What's up, Grant?
What's up, Kane? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Calling out of I'm in Georgia right now, but I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
Always listen to you, always catch a show, so I'm on the road. My thing is with Kyle is I'm like, do you even watch film on the other team's defense to go after their weakest? You know, like they did us. Like they went after us this last game. Like they're film watching on us and they attacked us.
They're like, oh, Luke Gifford shouldn't be on the field. We got him.
Yes.
They knew that. Yeah, they knew that.
And they went after us. They went after. They knew our team is hurt right now, so they exploited us. They showed Arizona what to do to us this game. If they did the same thing the Rams did. But my thing with that too is with John, you say you go after good players, you trying to draft and everything. You know, without the defensive line you had in front of you when you played football, you wouldn't have been who you are. Without Warren Sapp and them guys in front of you that got after the quarterback. You know what I mean? That put pressure on them. You got the DBs out there running around forever.
What are they supposed to do?
Yeah. So my thing is like, you know, Kyle, and then, you know, I know he's trying to, with his scheme is going to do it all, win it all. No, it's not. I think he's not a head coach to me. He's an offensive coordinator at best. Yes, head coach. No, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
take too
he'd
much
be
of
so
your
much
time.
better in a strong organization with a strong head coach and a strong general manager, and he could just do his job.
Yeah,
He's so much better. Yeah.
So I want to get on here and say that I ain't gonna take too much of your time. I gotta get ready for work, but always listen to you. Always catch shows. Tell the coach I said I'll be in his lives. I don't say too much, but I just be listening to him when he do his games.
For sure. I'll tell him. Thanks, Kane.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, definitely check out the coaches' live watch parties. They're fantastic. I wish I could do those, but I'm here. Also, make sure if you guys are members of my YouTube channel, which some guys have been members for like 4 or 5 years, and I haven't really done a good job of creating members only content. You guys do it just to support and have like cool little badges when you leave comments. I respect it. Thank you. But we are now making some members only content. Sounds bad, but it's good. It's called 3 Deep. Also sounds bad, but it's good. It's me, Coach Jesse Naylor. It used to be the 4-man front, but Ryan has temporarily retired. I don't know. He's now a varsity basketball coach, which is super cool. I wish I was a varsity something coach. And if I was, I would give it all up. But he's doing something serious. We're talking football. So shout out to Ryan. I'm sure he'll be around in the comment section. Maybe he'll make a guest. You know, like maybe he'll like host a show like you know like how Norm Macdonald like left SNL but then came back. Like maybe it'll be like that. I hope. But in the meantime, in between time, 3 Deep, members only. If you're a member, you get the link every week to watch me, Jesse, and Coach chop it up. We do it on Wednesdays, 5 Pacific every week. So if you're already a member, cool. I'll always post a link in my community posts, and you get the link, and you can be up in there as we talk. It's just an incredible conversation. The insight, the banter. Come for the insight, stay for the banter, because the laughing, the forced male laughing. No, we actually do make each other laugh. Don't you hate that shit though? And like Fox, NFL Sunday, Howie, Jimmy, Terry, laughing at the worst jokes, not even making jokes and laughing. Like, why are they laughing? Oh, that is truly funny, Jimmy. That is truly funny. Hate that shit. Just want to say that. You know Fred Warner's going to be on Fox NFL Sundays in like 5 years. Nah, it's going to be Kittle. Man, can I say something also like off the record while no one's watching, especially no one on the Niners? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't need to say it. I'm going to say it. What I do need to do is some prize picks. Hold on. I don't ever have it ready. Boom, there's that. And then I'm going to share the screen where you... Hurry up. Hurry up. Why isn't it sharing? What's that about? Yo, what's that about? I don't understand. I don't like it. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Prize picks. So what's annoying about the prize picks this week is that all week they thought Mac Jones was going to start. I don't know why they thought that. I tried to tell them. I was like sending smoke signals to prize picks wherever they're located. I know where they're located. I'm not telling you. And they didn't, but now they listened. And it's Brock Purdy. He's starting 252.5 passing yards for Brock. He's going to hit that. He's going to hit that and then quit that more. I'm telling you, man, Kyle Shanahan is on a mission to prove that he was right to pay this guy. I am taking the more against Arizona. Easy. Jacoby Brissett, 230.5. 230.5. I think he'll just beat that out by a little bit because the Niners defense is not good. Rushing yards. Bam Knight, 35.5. I mean, he's not good, but neither is the Niners defense when it comes to stopping the run. I mean, 35.5 is so little, but it's a lot for Zonovan. I don't feel great about it. You know, I'm going to leave Zonovan alone. What I want to do is smash the more on Brian Robinson. I'm telling you. Unless Kyle is watching this, I feel like he's been spiting me all year. I told everyone that I'd passed on Christian McCaffrey to take Derrick Henry in fantasy football. Guess what? Christian McCaffrey gets the ball every freaking play. I should have taken Christian. My bad. Then I tell everyone I took Ricky, and he just magically doesn't play for 6 weeks. Thanks a lot, Kyle. I see what you're doing. You're trying to sabotage me, aren't you? So, yeah, I'm starting Brian Robinson in my dynasty league because I'm on a 9-game winning streak, 8-game winning streak. I'm 9-1. And yet I don't have a second running back. I have Jahmyr Gibbs and a poo-poo platter of backups. And it doesn't matter. I'm that good. So I'm starting Brian Robinson this week, and I think Kyle's going to make me look smart. I'm telling you, man, 17.5, easy. Easy. Christian, 68.5. That's a lot. I think it's going to be less. That's a lot. I don't think he's going to get there. That's how I feel. Christian receiving. Trey McBride. Michael Wilson. Should I pick him up in fantasy? He's not that good, though. Kittle. Pearsall, that's the one. 39.5 receiving yards. Do you understand how many? Easy more. Oh, because he's rusty. He was shooting jumpers. If he could shoot jumpers, he could go for 40 yards in this. Hey, look, you guys thought some people thought that was an impertinent question. I asked about the jumpers. 3 days later, he's back on the field. You're welcome, Ricky Pearsall fantasy owners. You're freaking welcome. I'm just so good at quality control. It's crazy. 39.5 for Ricky Pearsall. That's easy money. George Kittle, 49.5. More. Are you kidding? One of the reasons they bench Mac is Kittle didn't get the ball enough. He even said it. He was like, I really like Brock. He really throws me the ball a lot. Caught a lot of passes from Brock. That's what he said. Caught a lot of passes from Brock. Those are my picks. They're all right. I'm going to make it a 40 burger. Boom, to win 600 because I'm going to win. Submit in the lineup. Bing bong. Download the app. Prize Picks. Use promo code COHN. Play $5. Get 50 instantly in lineups when you use that promo code Cohn. App is available in 45 states, including Texas and California. Kenny, man, this guy's been in 8 different places. Kenny,
what's going on,
up, man?
So I'm a busy guy. I had to make sure I know no driving, man.
I appreciate it, Kenny. How you doing, man?
It's all good. Enjoy the show, man. Real quick, I'm not gonna be long, man. Just 3 subjects, or 3 topics. The first topic is I rock with Brock, and I'm not saying that to be like gimmicky. I do, but watching Brock, I feel like the rest of the fan base feel like it's like watching Jimmy G all over again, man. He's getting a little squirrely out there. I used to love his mobility. Like, yeah, okay, he can break out of the pocket, but there's just the comfortability watching Mac. I know he's gonna drop it right there on the dot, like every time. His decision making is way better than Brock. And I would like to see somebody debate that. Like Mac's decision making, even though he's not as like mobile, his decision making is on point for the most part. If you look at all the picks he's got so far this year, they haven't been on him really. They've been either tipped by offensive lineman or something, something weird.
Or they're like on 4th down forcing a pass. I've seen 2 of those. Whereas Brock, the thing that's crazy about him is most of his picks come on 1st down. Like, throw it away. What are you doing? Second down exists. What are you doing? Yeah.
And the second thing I want to say, keep pressing, like keep doing quality control. Keep pressing Shanahan, the whole organization about that O-line. Because we're not going to win anything big until we fix that O-line. It's crazy. It's like being in a sinking boat and just putting duct tape over every hole. And I don't get it why they just won't. Nobody would just step up and say we need to focus here. I just don't understand it. Hey, Trent's on his way out. I love Trent, man, but Trent, he's holding on. I don't know why he doesn't even speak up and say I need some help out here. I need some reinforcements.
They paid him. Because they paid him. I feel like, what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of these vets would normally be complaining, but they all got paid. So how can they? I mean, they kind of got to go along with it.
Yeah. It's just mediocrity, man. It's like the standard is gone. Like the standard. I grew up watching the Niners. Like the standard is gone. I try to rock with the new regime, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot like every time. Well, I forgot what the third topic was, but bring Mac back, man. That's what it was. And I heard what you were saying about Tom Brady giving Brock underhanded, like backhanded compliments. I haven't caught it yet, but I like Tom's analogy of if they didn't go with the hot hand, I probably wouldn't be here. And I don't get it. Like, stick with Mac. Mac is winning. The offense, he's done more with less than Brock did last season. To me, in my
If
opinion,
it's not broke, don't fix it. Like the
that's
only
it.
reason you make this switch is to, own people who disagreed with you or
Yeah,
change the discourse. It's so unnecessary. You'd win this game with
exactly.
Mac, but hey, try it your way.
Yeah, and I'm not going against Brock. I mean, he should win. It's Arizona, but then he was supposed to win against the Jags, and ah, I think Mac would have won that
If
game.
you lose this game
Yeah.
and miss the playoffs, it's a
Woo.
horrible decision. Like you can't mess around. You can't lose this game. Can't lose this game. And
Yeah,
you probably
man.
won't, but any given Sunday.
I think that trade deadline really killed the morale of the team. Like, they ain't have any. You grew up. I mean, you're not that far off. I'm 42. How old are you again, Grant?
37.
See, you remember Major League, right? With
Yep.
Charlie Sheen, they have no cojones, man. They didn't have any
Right.
cojones this year. You host the Super Bowl. It's like you're supposed to go for it. Like, what do you got to lose?
Agree. And like also people in that locker room, it's been so clear that the team is really
Exactly.
prioritizing 2026. But how many of those guys in the team will be there in 2026? Football.
Exactly.
A lot of those guys are going to get cut. So what's their incentive to? I mean, of course, they all want to play hard and put out good tape so they can. But it's like there's going to be some business decisions out there, and it's going to be hard for the team to come together when a lot of these guys know they're on the way out.
It's ridiculous, man. And they know the NFL stands for not for long. Like, you got to get it. That's why, honestly, I respect Detroit. I can't stand the Rams, but they know how to win when it counts. And it's like you look at all these other organizations, and it's like it might be time to just gut it. Like, it's either Kyle has to go or Lynch has to go. One or the other, or maybe even both. But it's like they say, who are we going to get to replace Kyle? But something isn't right.
There was Ben Johnson last year. He's doing a pretty good job with the Bears. A couple years before that, there was Shane Steichen. He's killing it with the Colts now that he has a quarterback. I mean, Kyle's not the only offensive. He's not a genius. He's a good offensive coach. There's a lot of good offensive coaches. Just saying.
Yeah, geniuses know the overtime rules in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, geniuses have their offense scoring more than 21 points a game.
Exactly. But that's it, man. I ain't gonna hold their time, man. I hope they smarten up. I hope Brock does good. He should win these next couple of games, but bring Mac back. It's like I can't take the Jimmy G anxiety watching games anymore. It's like every time he drops back, it's like you're freaking out. You know what I'm saying?
Is he gonna throw a pick? Is he gonna get hurt? Yep.
Jesus, man. I don't know, man. I don't feel good about it, but I appreciate it, man. Y'all be easy, man.
Thanks, Grant. Good stuff. Appreciate you, man. All right. Lee Hollywood H says, Grant, let's talk Kyle. Bill Walsh, 10 years, 3 Super Bowls. Seifert, 8 years, 2 Super Bowls. Mariucci, 6 years. Harbaugh, 4 years. My point is, has Kyle just run his course? This is all we will get, and it's time to go in a different direction. I mean, I do feel that way. How many coaches have won their first Super Bowl on their first stint and with their first team as a head coach, won their first Super Bowl 9 years deep into their tenure? I already know the answer to that. How many guys have done it? The answer is uno. Bill Cowher was the head coach of the Steelers for like 15, 16 years, and he finally won one right at the end of his tenure. It's the only guy. I mean, John Madden, I think it took him about 8 years with the Raiders. Kyle's good, but if it hasn't happened for him now, it's probably not going to happen for him. And what I want to say about Kyle, the same thing happened to his dad. Maybe you guys don't remember this. I lived through this in the 90s, but his dad was a better coach than Kyle. He won back-to-back Super Bowls, also won a Super Bowl with the Niners as a coordinator, won 3 Super Bowls. After that, though, like he became the emperor of the organization in Denver. He became the vice president. He was picking the players, coaching the team. He had as much power or more than Kyle Shanahan has now. And what happened? Just a slow, inevitable slide into mediocrity. And they eventually fired him after like 12 years. And what a lot of people said is, Mike, the GM, got Mike, the head coach, fired. Is that not what's happening with the 49ers and Kyle? Is it not history repeating itself? The thing about the Shanahans is they are good coordinators, but they don't want to be coordinators. They don't want to be head coaches. They want complete control over the whole organization. You've heard about how they put cameras and microphones in all the rooms so they can know everything that's being said during meetings, between meetings, who said it, why, when. That is a whole different level of dictatorship. That's how they run organizations. And I don't think it's healthy. It's not how Andy Reid runs the Chiefs. It's not how Sean McVay runs the Rams. It's not how, the Eagles are run. It's not the coach gets all the power. There's a chain of command like the military, and you're not being run from the back. Mark Adams says, am I too late? You said you was going to be on tomorrow. Enjoy these jump shots, Grant. No, you're not too late. I'm here now. Unfortunately, I can't do it tomorrow. Trevor's driving. When he pulls over, I could bring him on the show. I think that's Mark right there. I'll get Johnny as well. What up, Mark? Are you Mark McAdams? Or just a different Mark? No.
Yeah. How you doing, Grant?
Thanks for calling in.
Hey, thanks for being here. Hey, it's crazy. You just brought up the cameras and all that stuff with Kyle and kind of how in the team and huge Niner fan. The last time they won, I was 10 years old. I remember that Super Bowl. So it's been a long time, and 49ers fans want, they want a Super Bowl, but I don't think Kyle's going to do it. I tell people, if he wasn't able to win a Super Bowl with that amazing team that he had against the Chiefs last time with McCaffrey and Kittle and Trent Williams at his Hall of Fame status, and
people kill me about it. It's like it's year 9 of his tenure, and he's not going to win a Super Bowl this year. It's clear, and people are like, "Well, he's building something." Okay, he's building. So you got to wait. It's a 3-year plan. It's like, all right, so he gets 11 years with this team, and he's building something this late in his tenure, and he's building it through the draft. He can't draft. I know where this is going. They're not going to ever have a team like they had in 2023. That team was put together through trades and free agent signings, not just the draft. So
yeah, that team in 23, it was so good and healthy. That's what I tell people too. After that Super Bowl, I said, I say we, I'm not a part of the team. The 49ers are never going to be that healthy again. And that's what people too, like, you see all the injuries, and they put it on the game log. They say, Shanahan's got the most time missed from any coach. And they were 23. I just don't think the team is ever going to be that good again. And Shanahan couldn't get it done then. They couldn't run the ball with Jordan Mason. You was preaching all year about Jordan Mason being the man, and 5 yards to carry. Hey, he doesn't know the playbook. He doesn't know the blocking schemes. So what about a blocking scheme? Put him in the game. He can run somebody over.
He seems to be averaging 5 yards to carry somehow, some way.
You've said it before.
Yeah.
You said it before. If they play him in the Super Bowl, do they win that game? Do they get a few more first downs? Yeah. And I'm sorry, my mind's in a lot of places right now, but I'm not a super genius like Kyle Shanahan. I didn't even call you to bash on Shanahan. I wanted to talk about other things too, but in that Super Bowl on third down, he ran that slow play action to Christian McCaffrey, and then all of a sudden, of course, Chris Jones was in Purdy's face because the blocking schemes are terrible. You run that slow play action. I'm not a genius, but I always tell people, why don't you put Debo and McCaffrey in the backfield at the same time? You got the 2 best running backs in the game. You got McCaffrey and Debo. Split them next to Purdy. Run one way, run the other way to the other one. Somebody's going to be open in the flat. You tell me that isn't going to work on third down, fourth down, and whatever. come on, Shanahan. Like, he's got to get out of his way. Like you say a lot of times, he's got to get out of his way. And just that team in 23, you couldn't win the Super Bowl with that. You're not going to. I'm sorry. You've already shown the fans and the players you've given up this year. You didn't do a whole lot of trade deadline. Fine, you don't have a lot of money. Fine, but you could have done something. You could have done.
Mark, I hate to cut
like
you off, but I have to go out to
Khalil
practice
Davis
in a minute.
Mark,
I hate to cut you off, but I got to go out to practice in a minute. You're doing a great job. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, thanks.
Good stuff, dude.
It.
All right, man. Have a good one, Mark.
Thank you.
Johnny, I'm going to get to you. Trevor, you got to pull over. Lee Hollywood H says Kyle Dad had Mike, had John Elway, and couldn't get it done until Terrell Davis came along. So was he really a good coach or just a good coordinator? Good question. Maybe just a good coordinator. It is interesting that what Mike Shanahan ultimately did to win those Super Bowls was give the ball to Terrell Davis as much as he could humanly as much as he could physically handle. And he broke down after about 3 years and still made it in the Hall of Fame. But is Kyle treating Christian McCaffrey any differently? Have the Shanahans really changed? Johnny.
Grant, two things. Fire the strength and conditioning staff on this team. That's one. Two, Jed won't fire anybody. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, all Jed's going to say is look at Bosa being hurt and Warner being hurt.
Yep.
And this team will not draft offensive linemen, so that's out the door. The only way they will improve the offensive line is through free agency. If Jed wants to pay offensive linemen or trade, that's it.
Yeah.
But you know Brock's going to play well against Arizona. He's in his home state, and Arizona's missing like 4 or 5 defensive stars. They actually have a bigger injury list coming into this game than the Niners do.
Yeah, and the Niners have a full deck on offense right now.
Yeah, the Niners are probably scoring 38. Here's the thing, though. With Brock, he's not the problem. It's just Jed is going to let Lynch and Shanahan run the team however. And if the team makes the playoffs, Jed's fine with it being relevant. He's not looking at it like, oh, we missed the playoffs again. Nope. If he sees that the Niners somehow go 11-6 with their schedule, it's quite possible. He'll be fine with that.
Yeah. Well, they better get someone who can make these draft picks count because they're holding on to them so preciously, but they're not using them wisely. They better not take the next Jake Moody in round 3.
No, exactly. Well, have fun at practice, Grant, and on Prize Picks, kick kills over.
All right, let's go. Trevor, thank you for pulling over. I appreciate it. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Grant?
Good. Where you driving?
I'm driving home right now, so I'm in Michigan. So
Michigan. Okay.
We're getting cold, but hopefully hold off a little bit. Just 2 things. I'll be pretty quick. I do want to praise Kyle a little bit. There is definitely a lot of room for criticism. I'd like to see more of this, though. However, the 2 tight end set in the red zone with Tonjes and Kittle, they were both open. Tonjes ended up catching that ball. I'd love to see that. I think we glossed over it just because, like, the following weeks, and that's kind of all we saw of it. We didn't see much more. I do want to see more of that, but credit to Kyle for actually using it in the red zone. I thought that was nice.
That was in Jersey, right? Against the Giants, we saw that, right? Or was it against the Texans? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on the road.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's that. And then I know the press conference with Brock and with everything's already happened. But just a question that I thought would be, maybe decent for him because I'd like to hear his perspective is, hey, I know that coming back from an injury is difficult and the team is sort of in a must-win game and there's pressure from that. Is there any extra added pressure given how well Mac has played in your absence? Just to sort of see, because he's not dumb. He knows that he got his job from injury. So it would be kind of cool to see his perspective.
It is a good question. I think what he would say is, no, there's no added pressure. I'm just focused on what I need to do and what I can control and going out there and da-da-da-da. But it is a good question. But I think he would say, but it doesn't really matter what I think he would say. It'd be interesting to say what he would say. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Good question.
All right. Well,
all right, Trevor.
Good talking to you.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Good talking to you too, man. Have a good one. All right. That's the one. I got to go to practice now. I'm late. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. Take care, everyone. And next time you see me, I'll be in Arizona eating tacos. Arizona Mexican food review